Welcome back to Limitless Interviews. I'm sitting down today with the creative director at Limitless, Syth. Syth, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing fantastic. I appreciate you asking. So, today we're gonna go through your experiences in esports and gaming and content creation and Limitless and just talk about you here for the next 20 minutes or so. So, I want to
Yeah,
go
sounds good.
all the way back to the start for you. How did you get into gaming and content creation?
Ooh, gaming, I think I've been gaming for, oh man, like since I was like 2 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a minute, a hot minute. I mean, I was born in 2001 and I started gaming like literally just a couple of years later. I remember, I remember getting the original Xbox for my birthday and everything, and I just have been gaming since then. And in terms of like getting serious about learning about all these different things about like graphic design, getting more into the gaming space.
Mhm.
That was back in 2016. I think that was my freshman year at high school, I'm pretty sure. And I just wanted to learn. And I think the biggest inspiration for me about getting more serious about this sort of stuff, about, the passions about gaming, have been like the content creators of like gaming at the
Mhm.
very beginning, like FaZe Clan, all that sort of stuff, the pioneers of the gaming space and YouTube and all that sort of stuff. It just really inspired me to learn all this stuff.
So then where did you start as a content creator? Now that you've been inspired by the OGs of gaming content creation, where did you start as a creator?
So where did I start?
Yep.
Or
Where did you start?
so I believe I first started on YouTube, just making just gaming videos in general.
Nice.
I don't even remember my first video. I remember unlisting or just privating a lot of my old videos. Unfortunately, some of them are just completely deleted, so you can't like go back to like the 2016 version of Sith. Um, but yeah, I remember just making like funny moment videos, gaming videos, clips, all that sort of stuff. It was definitely a time, but just getting a foot in the door with graphic design and just learning and school and all that sort of stuff.
Fair enough. I think we all have those old like Minecraft Let's Plays or whatever game was your introduction to to
Yeah.
content creation. I know mine are still out there somewhere. I need to scrub those, but haven't yet. But moving on to joining Limitless. I know you gained some notability in content creation, graphic design. You are all over the place when it comes to making stuff in the gaming space, which is awesome. You've got a deep resume. But how did it
Mhm.
come about your connection with Limitless?
So, a lot of the people that are in Limitless right now were a part of multiple teams that I was part of before.
Hmm.
So I already had that connection. I remember that I think it was the first like massive team that I was a part of because I remember joining like gaming teams, and I remember doing free graphic design work
Hmm.
for some of these teams, like a long time ago, like 2016, 2017. I remember when I joined Twitter in 2017, and I was joining like these, I wouldn't say bottom tier, but like it was like everyone was starting out,
Sure.
just making their own teams and almost like Twitter orgs and stuff like that. Um, but I was doing free work, and then I remember oh, I don't exactly remember how I met a couple people, but I think it was through another graphic designer in the space. I remember one of my inspirations to start graphic design was Sesso, and Sesso is a former senior designer for 100 Thieves, and he's now, I
Wow.
think, over at Energy. And I remember watching one of his videos, and it was one of our members at Limitless. His name is Nathan, or Five, and he basically Sesso did a stream package for him. And I remember I was like, this guy's pretty cool. Like, I'm gonna check out his content, check out his streams, and all that sort of stuff. And it just went and grew like exponentially from there.
Hmm.
I started joining his streams when he was streaming at the time on Twitch and everything, and getting to know Nathan. And I think the connection just grew from there. And we joined a team called Pride. and
Hmm.
Pride was a huge content like phenomenon on Twitter, and we just grew a huge family. And I believe even the CEO of Limitless, Big Sin, is a former member, and it went crazy from there, and we just became family, just even outside of the realm of gaming teams. We were just talking with each other all the time, whether or not we were in a team with each other or not. It was just incredible, and knowing them since I think it's been since 2020 that I've known some of them, and
Hmm.
I remember getting the call for joining Limitless because I remember I left a couple of teams and I left a couple of commitments that I had at the time, and I was a part of no team in 2022, and I think it was either August, I think it was September 2022 that I first joined Limitless, and it was insane. It was awesome, and I just went up the ranks up there, and now I'm here as the creative director. It's insane. It's been such a journey.
That's awesome. So you got in with graphic design, and I mean, you're the creative director now, and I'm curious what that role means within the context of the Limitless organization. What does the day-to-day look like for you as the creative director?
Yeah, so the creative direction mainly is just getting a hold on like social media
Hmm.
and the posts that we want to make, especially on the esports side of things,
Yeah.
because we're professionally in Rocket League and potentially going back into other things in the future, hopefully. And our past teams in CS2, and it's just trying to get something that's creative and
Hmm.
almost unique, because I keep on seeing all the other teams, even the tier one or organizations out there that do that have a decent creative direction. I want to try and be more unique in a sense, and it's wearing different hats,
Hmm.
being in conversations when we're creating events behind the scenes, creating graphics for those. Any of our content creators that want to do say like subathons or events that are officially with Limitless or something like that, I try and create graphics for them, or have someone else from our design team create graphics for it, or anyone that's needing anything from Limitless in terms of like advertisements or anything like that. So it's just an entire like overall overseeing
Hmm.
of the entire creative direction for social media for Limitless. Any of our streams that we do on the stream Twitch, or the team Twitch.
Hmm.
Um, the what I think it's Limitless GG or GG Limitless
GG
on Twitch
Limitless
or something
Live.
like
Yep.
that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the Twitch account and all that stuff, doing the graphic design for that. But yeah, it's insane. Just everything across the board, just trying to get something consistent,
Hmm.
and having everyone just working on it, working away on the game day posts, the victory posts, all that sort of stuff, and it's been awesome. It's been incredible.
I mean the posts, like the wins and the losses, the game day posts, they're phenomenal. But I have to shout out like the replies. I don't know how hands on you are with the actual like operations on Twitter, but the replies that the Limitless account has been putting out, like for Rocket League especially, obviously with my background being in RL, they crack me up constantly. Like
Yeah.
it's been hilarious this season.
Yeah, I mean, I have no say in any of our social media stuff.
Hmm.
Maybe just a couple suggestions here and there
Sure.
or whatever, because of my knowledge with my personal social media accounts and stuff like that, and just the overall knowledge across social media. But yeah, I mean, our social media team is incredible. Yeah, I think we have a new intern on the Instagram account. We have Maddie and Connor, who are spearheading the Twitter page,
Hmm.
and just going crazy with the memes, the replies, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's awesome.
All right, and just in general, I'm curious about your hiring process when you bring a new person into an esports organization. Because what I'm hoping is that people watching this might be interested in joining an organization or working in esports further, and esports orgs are a great way to go about that. So, if you had advice for someone that was looking to join, say, Limitless or just an esports org in general on the content side of things, what kind of advice would you lend their way?
In terms of like when I'm thinking, like what I'm thinking when hiring people, it's we want a lot of people that more so want to do different things
Hmm.
or hold different hats in a sense. Like sure, like there's the graphic designers that specialize in certain things, and we definitely want that. Like we want to see people that can do 3D rendering and all that sort of stuff, but also, you know, we want people that can do a whole gamut of things, if
Hmm.
that makes sense, where they can make social media posts, they can make smaller assets to put on the graphics, or they can make certain things for the content creators or for the streams and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, and even people who make like car renders for the Rocket League graphics, all that sort of stuff. So you know, we're definitely looking at everything across the board and like every option. Um, but you know, we definitely want people who can do multiple things, but we're also looking at people who specialize in things.
Hmm.
And you know, if they really are a master at like 3D rendering or 3D design, I mean, that's awesome. Or 3D animation, or even 2D animation for, you know, the streams, any like stinger transitions and
Right.
anything like that. I mean, we're looking at everything and every option. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes sense that, I mean, you're looking for specialists, obviously, everyone is, but it makes sense that looking for someone that can be quite good in a lot of different areas, considering your background as well. I mean, working for Limitless, doing graphic design, content creation within the gaming space. I mean, you're a streamer as well. I see your posts about that. Talk about your streaming experiences and what it's been
Ooh.
like coming up as a content creator on that side.
Yeah, so the streaming part of it is, well, just me in general with my schedule. It hasn't been the greatest
Ah.
at the moment with the scheduling part of it. But when I was going crazy, like almost every day,
Hmm.
posting content and posting, doing streams and all that. So I was doing content and starting content in 2016. Um, and have been doing, you know, at least some form of videos, at least like a few videos a year since then.
Hmm.
And I started streaming back in 2023, and I remember saying to myself that I was never going to stream. I always see, you know, these clips of these bigger, like big larger streamers, you know, getting like doxxed or something like that. I
Mm.
mean, it was just a weird stigma around that sort of thing.
Sure.
You know, like I was wondering, like, if I stream, like, am I gonna go through this sort of experience or whatever? And just started it. I just wanted to see what it would be like. And it just grew from there because the amount of support and people that have come into my streams and all that have been nothing but amazing. And it's such a different dynamic than creating content, because you're holding conversations with people in
Yep.
real time. And obviously, like there would be like a delay or whatever, but you know, it's so different from responding to comments on a video that came out, you know, a couple weeks ago, versus holding full on like multi-hour long conversations with people while playing, you know, a game or collaborating with other streamers at the same time. So it's pretty incredible. It's pretty awesome when, you know, the stream goes live and I'm just chilling, just doing my thing and being myself on
Hmm.
stream. And it's pretty awesome. I think that's the largest thing, is not, you know, limiting yourself and not putting like a mask on
Yeah.
yourself. All you can do is just try your best and be yourself, and it makes it enjoyable when you stream that way. And I think that's what I've tried to do, and it's been incredible. It's been so good.
I love it. I love that you just dove into streaming and then found yourself loving it. That's really cool. And talking about the experiences you've gotten in streaming and in making videos, content creation, how have you found your lessons learned there have helped you rise up the ranks in Limitless, and even now as a creative director overseeing the Limitless content? How have you used those previous lessons learned to help Limitless as an organization now?
Hmm. I think it's very different because I've been in the shoes of a lot of people
Yeah.
um in different like different branches of the team. Like I know what it's like to be a streamer. I know what it's like to be a content creator. I know what it's like to be a graphic designer. And even with other things and other areas that I have outside of Limitless. Um, if you guys don't know, I'm the community manager over at Respawn. Um, and there's so many content creators across the board that they see a creative director or they see a manager, and they're just like like, oh, like they don't know what it's like to be a content creator or whatever. And then they see someone in that position who's been in every branch of a team or in every branch of an organization, and have been on the other side of things in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
and just learning things, and thinking what they think, if that makes sense, like
Right.
thinking as a content creator, thinking as a streamer, when doing graphic design for Limitless, or even the other way around, where I'm thinking as a streamer, what would a streamer want from the graphic design team or something like that. So it's pretty awesome having like that dynamic of perspective with the Limitless and other aspects of social media and all that stuff. It's incredible. I love it.
That makes sense. That it's that helpful to just understand the shoes that some people have to fill. It makes sense. And I mean, looking at overall, I think your roles as graphic designer, content creator, creative director, whatever, the door's wide open for this question. But I'm wondering what a unique experience is or two that you've been allowed to experience because of your roles at the top of Limitless or content creating as a community manager. What kind of unique experience would you want to share here in this interview?
Ooh, um, in terms of like overall, I think the most unique experience I've ever had as a content creator has been the Respawn Recruits competition.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's just such a different dynamic, because when you look at the recruitment challenges for other organizations, it's always like Call of Duty clips or Fortnite clips or
Sure.
whatever, and like getting like a sniping clip or whatever. But with the recruits competition, it's so different, where it's like I think it goes on for 10 weeks. Usually it's a 10-week long content challenge.
Wow.
And yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I remember I would be posting things every single day, as well as doing a weekly challenge that they would put out. And I just remember just thinking of the most unique things that I never would have thought I would have made. Like I remember making a comedy skit for things, and a different editing style, and just putting my personality and what I output in the competition and that sort of stuff. So I would say that's the most unique thing that I've gone through as a content creator. And as a graphic designer, I would say the most unique thing is with Limitless,
Mm-hmm.
because I've never had, all these different assets to work with, or, the professional player headshots and stuff,
Yeah.
and just working with official graphics and official assets. I've never had that experience before, besides Limitless. And just thinking of certain things to put in to like a game day post or a victory post, or first place, second place posts, or that sort of thing, for different social media platforms. So just getting to just do everything as like a sandbox playground
Yeah.
is pretty awesome. So yeah, it's so good.
It is so crazy. Something that I didn't realize before I kind of got into graphic design myself, how many little details there are on every single post, like the little dots or symbols, as well as the big player headshots and the text. There are so many layers to a graphic. It's so impressive what you do.
I appreciate that. Heck yeah.
All right, final question I've got for you. As the creative director of Limitless, what is your long-term vision for Limitless as an organization that outputs content really on an almost daily basis? It feels like no matter how big or how small the content initiative is. What's your long-term vision for the org?
Oof. Well, knowing certain things, I can't really
That's all
leak
right.
anything. But the long-term vision is I really truly want this to be a thing for me, like job wise,
Sure.
and truly just sink my teeth into everything, and to have everyone else in the team sink their teeth into different branches of the team, and I want to just it's interesting to think about this. I've never really thought about it, the long term of Limitless,
Yeah.
but I truly want the graphics to be unique in a sense, because I'm looking at all the different organizations across the board, and not just with Rocket League, not just with CS2 or anything like that, just graphics across the board, and thinking of like different catchphrases, different background assets, and utilizing different like poses for the players and all that sort of stuff. Just thinking of unique things to implement into the graphics would be super awesome. And even the content side of things, it would be awesome to see a lot of group collaborations,
Yeah.
and even I think it'd be awesome to even have multi-team collaborations. I think that would be super awesome. It's just like all these ideas that I have floating around my head. But the long term, I really hope is super awesome for Limitless. It is going to be awesome. Just manifesting it is
Yes.
going to be super dope for Limitless. I can't wait to see what Limitless has in store for everyone, and within the team, outside the team. It's gonna be this is our year. This is gonna be our year for sure.
I love it. I love your endless pursuit of just creativity in general, Sith. You've been a great guy to interview. I appreciate you sitting down with me today.
Yeah, of course. This has been awesome.